Welcome, everybody, and thank you very much for giving up your time to get engaged with my little masterclass. And I'm a full-service marketing consultant, from strategy to multi-channel execution of campaigns. And I'm going to cover 7 ways to transform your marketing with one key theme and 6 other themes. So I'm going to move on to the marketing challenges that my clients come to me with. And I find there are recurring themes over and over again, and they're not far away from those in the poll. But sales pitch and selling messages are weak. Over and over again, people come to me with websites that are underperforming, and very often they've fallen out with their web designer. Some approach me because they're having issues with being found on Google, or quite often actually with their SEO consultant. And one recently was struggling with Google Ads. And generally SEO and Google Ads are seen as complex, sometimes mysterious and expensive. Lack of marketing budget comes up quite a lot, but I would say a small budget is still a budget. And a lack of marketing skills, but particularly strategy, comes up pretty often. So they're confused about marketing, or certainly about certain areas of marketing, and they don't know what to focus on. So what's the real problem? The real problem is that they don't have a clear, solid marketing strategy. And some research by Chartered Institute of Marketing confirms this, that leaders at small businesses spend less than an hour a month on strategy, typically. So in some ways, marketing's never offered as many opportunities as it does now, but it's also never been so complex. And partly because of that, strategy is being ignored. Here are some other consequences of not having a clear strategy. Products, and this is particularly service products, are poorly presented and productized or packaged up. Prices and margins tend to be low. Websites are very often not really their digital marketing hub, with everything else feeding off it. They're not using the right, most effective channels. And it used to be that I would say that they weren't using enough channels, but actually sometimes companies are using too many channels now because there are so many. And for instance, if you're trying to be on 4 social media channels, you might be far better off on 2. They also, as a result of not having a clear strategy, their market positioning is fuzzy, and they can't build a brand, even if it's a local and niche brand. And marketing tends to be seen as a cost instead of an investment. And the result of not having this marketing strategy is that they are going in different directions. So they may well be stressed, unhappy, and badly rewarded for all their hard work. And overall, their business grows slowly and it can't achieve its full potential. So why do you need a clear written marketing strategy? Because businesses with a clear written marketing strategy, according to these 2 surveys by CoSchedule and HubSpot, report 4 to 5 times more success than businesses without a written marketing strategy and plan. And research by McKinsey and Bain & Co. confirms that for your business to outperform against competitors, you need to be excellent at marketing. And a marketing strategy provides a roadmap and solid foundations for your business and its success. It helps you achieve your goal. So the approach should be strategy first, tactics second. And there are a few links in this presentation to articles on my website, but you can click on them when I send you copies of the slides afterwards. Right, this is a slightly more of an introduction as to what I do. I'm a chartered marketer, a growth coach, and if I was meeting you, my business card describes myself as a marketing evangelist. And that's because I really believe that you've got to get your marketing right to succeed as a business. I aim to transform my clients' businesses with holistic professional marketing consultancy and growth coaching. My clients benefit from 30 years of experience, and I've supported about 250 businesses with advanced multi-channel marketing. And in terms of what I do, it's from developing clear practical strategies, increasing their prices and profits, repackaging products, and creating high-ranking converting websites, and also raising profiles and making sales with content, PR, LinkedIn, email, and video marketing. This is just a sample of my clients, and all of them are in the UK, mostly in Edinburgh and the Lothians, and some in the south of England. So All Simple Internet was in Kent, and Inspire Medilaw near Oxford. So as Alex was saying, quite a variety, and they range from executive coaches and consultancies, private schools and technology companies, to e-bike businesses, food and drink businesses, architects and surveyors, construction companies, and historic events venues. So anyway, I've got quite an eclectic background. So how do you create a marketing strategy? A good way to do this is to start by reviewing your marketing over the last 1 to 3 years. Then collect feedback from your customers using surveys, and sometimes as a shortcut, it's amazing what you can do from reviews, the likes of Google reviews, and use that to help you develop a profile of your ideal customers. You can learn an awful lot from competitors. So I always look at, analyze 3 to 5 competitors for my clients, and they needn't be direct competitors. They could be competitors who you admire, or even in an area that's related, but not exactly in your niche. And I use that to understand their marketing strategy and to learn from them, get ideas, not necessarily to steal their ideas, but to stimulate my own ideas. You also need to understand your brand values, and you should review and improve your overall business model. So that means from looking at your products, your pricing, digitization, and examples of business models which you're probably familiar with are freemium, like LinkedIn or SurveyMonkey or MailChimp, to subscription. And in fact, quite a few of the companies I've just mentioned then move to subscription models. And clearly there are plenty of bricks and clicks, a lot of other business models. But if you're reviewing your strategy, it's really good to look at your business model and see what you can do to improve it. So then you can create a strategic marketing plan, and what I tend to do is with a separate action plan. And again, a couple of links to articles. And this is the approach that I take to developing a marketing strategy. And it takes the classic approach to strategy development, and I've speeded it up and simplified it so that it works for SMEs and can work for startups and some very small businesses. And I've created about 50 marketing plans for 50 different companies over the last 5 or 6 years. And what this is a disciplined thinking process that goes through the areas mostly that I've already discovered. So marketing review, research, starting to work on the strategy and the strategic options, and developing that at a workshop and brainstorming session, and then creating the strategic marketing plan and the separate action plan. And the way I do it is my strategic marketing plans are short on words, and they tend to be very graphic because it's much faster to do it that way, and it actually works better. And then you need to get on to execute your plan. So yeah, excellent execution is essential. There's no point in having a plan and it gathering dust or being implemented slowly or badly. And to execute your plan really well with discipline, you do need to do it in a disciplined way, and you can inject creativity and magic, but keep it on strategy. So you stick to your strategy. Who's equipped to do your implementation? And one of the challenges is that many in-house marketing teams, particularly, they may be able to operate with certain channels, but strategy is often lacking. And it's partly because there are so many channels now that tends to be too much focus on individual channels and not enough on strategy. And as part of the execution, you need to have a selection of key performance indicators or marketing metrics. And having that will help you move from if you didn't have this before, a marketing cost mindset to a marketing investment mindset. And remember, marketing is your biggest lever in your business, so you need to harness its multiplier effect. So I'm now going to get into, I've really just focused on marketing strategy so far, and marketing strategy is the most important area to get right first. I've now picked on a few other themes, 5 other themes I believe are important. There are effectively 3 main ways to grow your business. One is increase the number of customers you have. Second, increase their average spend. And thirdly, get customers to buy from you more regularly. You won't necessarily want to do all of those, but you might want to do 1 or 2 of them. And small improvements in any of these areas result in substantial growth. And for instance, if you increased each of these by 10%, then you get a 30% increase in sales. And what's appropriate depends on your business and your strategy. So I'm now going to look at importance of having a clear, powerful sales pitch. As you may well know, you need to ensure that your sales pitch or your value proposition articulates really well what you do and makes you stand out. And by stand out, I mean it needs to articulate your USP or your competitive advantage or differential advantage. And you should base it on research and feedback, particularly from your clients. And you want to ensure that it's unique, clear, and true. Or if it's not completely true, that's the direction you're aiming to go in. And that's particularly relevant for startups. But actually in practice, an awful lot of value propositions or sales pitches are bland, boring, and copycat. And if you see them, they really don't tell you very much, or they could be any companies. So your value proposition needs to answer the question, why should I buy from you and not your closest competitor? And to do this well, you need to really understand what your customers are buying from you, what their problems are, their emotional needs and their desires. And a good approach is to have your sales pitch or your longer value proposition, which it might be the equivalent of a 1-minute pitch, and then have 2 shorter versions, an elevator pitch and a one-liner. So that's a good formula, I find. So I'm now going to talk about conversion rates, and you've probably heard of conversion rate optimization. But what is quite curious is that conversion rates often aren't given enough attention. They're sometimes overlooked, and a huge amount of effort goes into marketing and generating leads, but not nearly as much effort goes into conversions. But that's a real error, because the return from improving your conversion rates can be really huge. So if you, and very often it's not very costly. So if you double your conversion rates, you can halve your acquisition costs per new customer. And good, you might find that on your, I don't know if you know what your conversion rates are, but you might find that your conversion rates on your website are as little as 1 or 2% of visitors to the website contacting you or taking whatever the next step is. It's not hard to double your conversion rate and get it up to 2% or more contacting you. And good e-commerce sites have conversion rates of 5% plus, maybe 5% to 7%. And Amazon's conversion rates are terrifyingly high. Without Amazon Prime, I think they're something like 15%, because Amazon is the everything store and they sell everything. And if if you've got Amazon Prime, the conversion rates from people visiting their website to making a purchase can be over 70%, which is unbelievable, really. That's why they're such a monster. So for websites, you want to turn your website into a conversion engine. And a few things that you can do to help improve the conversion rates on your website are: make sure that your sales pitch and your USP are really well articulated in your selling messages. Your website needs to instantly communicate trust. And you can do that in various different ways, but essentially it needs to fit. You need to be aware of the 8-second rule. You've got 8 seconds to get a website visitor's trust and get them to stay on your website. And you can do that through things like offering a guarantee, having plenty of customer testimonials or video testimonials, and potentially using customers' logos. It's also good in terms of conversions to think about having an irresistible offer that is very visible on your website. If you've had media coverage, then you can quote your media coverage. So as seen in, and then have logos of the publications that you've been in. And touched earlier on productizing services. And productization, good productization of your services helps conversion. And then, of course, calls to action have got to be good and effective and good to test them. I'm just going to finish off on this, on conversion rates. Very briefly, in sales, for any sales, review your sales process and measure conversions at 1 or 2 stages. One of the things that, there's an awful lot of talk about the sales funnel and the fact that you need to have multiple contact points with customers before they become a customer, with prospects before they become a customer. Well, actually, it's really good to analyze your sales funnel and see how you can shorten it and speed things up. You can do that. And a good way, for instance, of doing that is with video landing pages on websites to get people to take the next step. Improving conversion rates tends to be inexpensive, so good to see it as a profit multiplier. If you can increase your conversion rates twice, double them, then because your overheads don't go up so much, your profits will go up even more. So they could go up 4 times. I've got a client who has, over the last year or so, and this is more in sales, but they've, by improving their sales process, they've improved their conversion rates from about 15% to over 30%. This is just an example of goals set up in Google Analytics, where there are multiple contact forms, and this is measuring number of people going to a contact page compared to the number filling out the form. And so good to track. So I'm now going to talk about my next theme for transforming your marketing is embracing the power of email marketing. We still love email in a way. We certainly use it. After GDPR came in the UK, a lot of people stopped using email marketing, but it is, as a channel, it has many advantages. It's an owned channel. You own it. It's low cost, it's cost effective, and it delivers a higher return on investment than pretty well any other digital channel. Research from the DMA found that can deliver an ROA of over 4,000%. So that's $1 invested can be turned into $42. Social media, on the other hand, is much harder to quantify. And I have seen surveys on social media as a sales medium, as a sort of sales channel, and comparing that to email marketing. And email marketing is at least 15 times more effective than many social channels. However, that does depend on whether you're using advertising or posting without advertising. So what's important to get your email marketing working well? Clearly, you need to have a good quality list. It's well worth having the email newsletter coming from an individual, from a person, to personalize your emails and also personalize them with a greeting. Subject lines are incredibly important. I like mixing up designed branded emails with plain emails. And plain emails can still have very little amount of design in them, but it's more like getting a personal email. You can integrate them with your social media so that when you send out an email newsletter from MailChimp, for instance, it also posts on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm going to call it Twitter. And you can put video into email newsletters and emails. That works incredibly well. And automation is clearly an option. And Alex, I know that with your platform, it allows automation, video automation. And one of the things I like to do is, and it's surprising how many people don't do this, is give email newsletters a name. And so that they've got more personality and they're more fun. And it also helps sign up on websites. So for instance, I'll just name some of the email newsletters I've been involved with. The Winton Wire, Eagle's Eye, Clearer Views. And Clearer Views is for a sash and case window company. Cheese Bites for a fine cheese business. So you can see more about email marketing in the article on my website that you'll get a link to here. So I'm now going to talk about video, and video's the last theme. More and more people are obviously using video, but videos are great for bringing your clients' products and services to life, are really good for communicating complex services and for helping you get across your USP or your differentiators. They also communicate emotion and subtleties. Videos are great for video testimonials, sales pitches that you put on your website, employee interviews, creating video landing pages for events or a product that you're selling, and also for thought leadership vlogs. And you can, approach I quite often take with clients is to mix up professional and do-it-yourself videos. And with maybe only 10% professional videos and more DIY videos. But you can now, there are quite a lot of platforms that allow you to publish your own branded videos. And one that I use is called Vocal Video, which is good. And then there's also Video Ask, which I think you probably use, Alex. If you're using video, create a YouTube channel and take advantage of the fact that YouTube is the second largest search engine. And when you post videos on there, make sure they're optimized for SEO. In summary, how to transform your marketing. Have a clear marketing strategy, execute your plan really well. Be aware of the 3 main ways to grow your business and decide which you're going to focus on. Have a powerful sales pitch and the shorter pitches that I talked about. Focus on conversion rates. Embrace email marketing and harness the power of video. And clearly there's more. I haven't covered everything. I haven't covered search marketing, which could be SEO and Google Ads, content marketing and PR, reviews, or of course LinkedIn. But you may well be using Alex's Leader platform for LinkedIn outreach. Thank you for listening. I hope you found that interesting. Yeah, so for more information, and if you want to grow your business by 20% in up to 3 months, you're welcome to book a virtual coffee with me through that link. I also have a real marketing fitness test, which is effectively a do-it-yourself strategic marketing review that you can do. And I would give you some feedback if you completed one. And check out my 2 main strategy project options that I have, which starts with quick strategy, which is a mere £1,300. So anyway, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you got something out of that.
Well, that's great. Thanks so much, Christopher. So much info there, and start to finish, our whole kind of marketing strategy presented to us on a plate.